All right. Guten Morgen. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing today? I'm Dark Paul Algo, and thanks for joining me on another morning watchlist building session. Today is Friday. Yes, it is. It is Friday, February 25th, 2021, 2022. Oopsie. I want to take a second, right? Let me get finished. Oh, whoopsie. What am I doing here? I'm getting some things straightened out. Hold on. Hold, please. I need to take a second to say good morning to some people, and I'm just going to put someone on blast real quick because I'm feeling froggy on Friday. So I know I'm a little early. It's Friday. I'm excited. I'm a little excited because it's Friday. You know what? Morning, Johnny. Hey, you know who I haven't seen for a while? Your boy Laz. I'm a little concerned that we lost him. I don't know why, and I don't know where we lost him to, but I think we lost him. I have not seen him in any of the groups. He's usually pretty active and texts me. I know he's been trying to go after a job or something, but a little sad that he's not here every morning, right? He was fun. He liked to talk smack, right? Yes. So Froggy Friday. Ooh, hey now. How can we relate Froggy Friday to options? Or lottos, because everybody talks about Lotto Fridays, right? That should be a good one. We're going to figure that out. Again, t-shirt ideas are always welcome. But Froggy Friday. So Wu-Tang Wednesday. What was Thursday? I don't know if it was vacation or something. He went to Colombia, right? So since I've known him, he's gone to Dubai, Colombia. Like, my dude, let's go. Hook it up. I like to travel. I have passport, will travel, right? Anyway, I want to go into space. Remember space? I was like, it's a bye, right? On, what was this? Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, right? I was like, ooh, this looks like a good level. Remember, this was a SPAC. SPACs are worth about $10 on average, right? Between 8 to 10. It's in that range. My fill here yesterday that I got filled on for my one share, because, here's the story. I put an order to buy 100 at 756, right? Which is pretty decent, right? I was quite proud of my level there. I saw the notification from We Will come through. Yay, right? My order's been filled. So I'm like, yeah, I'm making money today. Oh, you know what it did? It gave me one share. I'm not even joking. And also, I was watching a video this morning and my eyes are all tweaked out right now. I'm having a hard time seeing. I don't know if you can see this right here. My one share, I made $1.05. If my 100 share order had been fulfilled, I would have made, what's that? $105 and growing. Anyway, that was my equity trade for the week that I screwed up. So I may look for another one. I'm thinking that if it can break, honestly, if it's above 9, right? I think it can hit 950, right? Possibly 1050. 10's the top range of these. So anything that was a SPAC, right? There was bred out of a SPAC. It's got about a $3 range, 750 to $10, right? It's fair value for these. I also think that I'm going to be keeping an eye on this 5200 right here. Speaking of 5200s, so we've retaken some levels. The ES on the 15-minute, right? Where's our stuff at? Our ES on the 15-minute overtook its 200-day, right? We've got a 2150 crossover getting ready to happen. So what's going to happen is some initial pops followed by short sellers coming in to try to push price back down below it for that continued fifth leg down, right? Look at this Wu-Tang Reversal here yesterday, or look at that W reversal all over the place, bull flag breakouts, gold filling, crude filling, bonds falling off a cliff, the end's down, everything. Yeah, should be a good time. So, all right, we got FlowTrade. We got my magic celts. This is my new charting setup. These are my primary celts, right? That's what I look at first on TradingView. Lots of data here, very clean, easy to read charts. This is what trips most people up, right? I'm looking at a 4-hour chart with the daily celts on it, right? I'm looking at a daily chart with the weekly celts. Looking at a weekly chart with the monthly celts. People are just like, time frames mess them up. And then on my actual trading charts, this is what they look like here. I'm experimenting. Where's it at? Did I get rid of it? I think I did. Dang it, I got rid of it. I was experimenting with an 8-minute chart, right? Because it goes in line with the 8, 24, 39, 78, 195, and 312-minute charts, which gives you a candle from the beginning, from the open to the close. It's a full candle set, right? It's not off. So like if you, the 5-minute candles is one. That's 78, 195, those 39, 78, 195, that's great for day trading, right? Those are great ways to get full candles printed on a chart. And I'm not explaining it very well, but I kind of like this setup. It's pretty easy to read, especially what you see on your screen is just is the top left quarter of the monitor I have, right? So I could fit 4 of these into one. It's a 5K monitor. So I could fit 4 of these big giant sections that you see here, right? So when I have this fully expanded, it's obviously really easy to see what's going on, right? This is what it looks like fully expanded. So, right, that takes up my full screen. So it's really easy for me to see. All right. Let's get into it, shall we? I want to look at this one though, because this is the one we're used to. Okay, remember earnings last night, Zscaler, ZS, right? We had fun trading this all year, right? This was just, it's so much fun to trade, right? Look at those big, giant, gappy moves that it has. Shares are down 16%. Q2 quarter EPS at 13-cent versus 11-cent gain. Revenues 255 versus 241. Guides third quarter revenues at 270 million versus 256, and an adjusted EPS at 10 to 11 cents versus 11 cents. Sees forward year revenues at 1 to 1.5 billion versus 1 billion, and an adjusted EPS at 54 to 56 cents versus 52 cents. Why did shares drop 16%? Those are good earnings. Those are stellar earnings. For real. No joke. Why are shares down? Profit taking. Right? If you are an investor and you broke the 200 up here at 260, right? And you're trying to get in off of this bounce and you got trapped in here and you held all the way down to 210, $50 per share, you are feeling some heat, right? And so on that rally up yesterday into earnings after close, right? You're like, hey, I'm even. I'm going to go ahead and get out just because I don't know what earnings are going to do, right? We're retesting. I'm lucky to get back out with a small loss. We're retesting the 200. I'm going to go ahead and take profits and see what happens in earnings. So this is definitely a dead cat bounce, but those are stellar earnings, right? Those are good. What am I doing here? Those are good across the board. Get over here. Right. So that's why we're getting this little dead cat bounce. We've got stack positive moving averages. Some of these slingshot squeezes of release, which have kind of helped us pull out of this death spin that we're in. Double green on the lower end, still double red on the upper end. So what I'm looking to do is back weekly. So we've got 4-hour daily, weekly Keltner channel bottom. If we can trade up through that, right, to 244.50, right, retest the 13, back test maybe the daily, maybe back test the weekly. If we back test the weekly, then we're going to look for that weekly mid, which would be a new high, right? So good earnings. 4-hour slingshot squeeze getting ready to happen. Ready and fire, getting ready to fire off. As soon as we can get these double green right here down at the bottom, then that means we're uptrending and we can get long on it. So keep ZS on your list for next week. I'm pretty sure that the the flow index will catch up to that big drop, right? Right, it was uptrending, it was doing good. Profit taking flush. I think that's what that was. Watch for the flow index to continue buying into this. I think this is a pretty decent setup for the next couple of weeks. I can't remember what sector they're in, right? But I think it might be tech related. Anyway, so we've got this group of cloud computing, internet security services that include like Cloudflare, VMware, Zscaler, MongoDB. Like there's that cluster of internet services that are going to be ripping. I believe they belong with CLOU, which is the cloud ETF, Global X Cloud Computing ETF. Massive day yesterday, right? Up, down, up. I think we're going to see some rotation into that because most of the holdings in that, and how am I going to figure out the holdings? Do I have a way to see holdings in? Do I have a way to see the holdings of a company in Trading View? If anybody knows that, let me know. I know with Webull or any of those other companies, we can see what are the top positions. I mean, I could always do this. Let's just do this. I think it's important. I think there's going to be some rotation into this. So ETF DB, which is what I typically use when I'm just trying to figure out, hey, oh, and by the way, so I was watching this stupid video. Oh my gosh, I don't ever check Facebook. I was watching this stupid video on Facebook, and it's got my eyes bugging, right? Because I was just, I don't know, I was staring at it for too long. And so my eyes are bugged out right now. They're like tripping out and I can't find my glasses anywhere. So if you see me doing a bunch of weird facial tics, please don't hate. All right, let's look at cloud computing holdings. There we go. Top holdings. Did I click on the wrong one? So Akamai, Mimecast, Zscaler is one of them. Workday is another one, right? 5.9, DLR, Dropbox. Maybe this isn't it. So, it's got Netflix in it and Paycom, CRM. This may be it. But look at this. Like Zscaler is a big percent of this, and so is Akamai. Anyway, I like this one going forward. I think there's going to be some good sector rotation into it, right? Well, I've got that up. Let's go ahead and get up our Forex Factory and let's get back into earnings. All right, VMware. Fourth quarter adjusted EPS at $2.02 versus $1.97. Revenue is $353 billion versus $352. Why the drop? I believe this is just profit taking, right? Nice move up yesterday. Continued drop off. Nice move up. Right? Taking profits and down. Ready and Fire's getting ready to roll over. Slingshot Squeeze getting ready to roll over. If this was a little bit more green or even yellow, I'd be more interested in maybe trying to catch the dead cat bounce. But I'm going to just stay away from this one for a little bit. All right. What else we got? Dell has earnings. They will, they're a staple. Fourth quarter EPS at 172 versus 195. Revenues 28 billion versus 227.4. And announces initial quarterly cash dividend at 33 cents a share. That's pretty decent for $51 stock. I believe AT&T's is close to that. Ooh, my sad. They used to trade at 35. All right. Might have to look into my investment on AT&T a little bit. I've got some of those for the long term. AMD, boom, shakalaka, $8 billion share buyback. They announced that today. AMD, this is my favorite stock to trade. Caught this little rip and dip right here. I got out, made my money within the first hour, and sat there and just watched this all day. I didn't want to trade in the afternoon. I've been over trading a lot, but I really should have. I had the 112s, right? Could have been like $5 in the money, right? Well, I follow my trading plan, so I'm gonna miss some. I'm gonna miss some of the larger moves, but in this choppy, uncertain market, getting my my $100 or whatever per trade taken care of in the first hour. That's how I want to trade. I want to trade the first hour or two, make my money, make my 1 to 2%, and be done. That gives me the rest of the day to go do what I want, right? Spend that money. So yeah, AMD announced an $8 billion share buyback. Autodesk, ADSK, Q4 non-GAAP EPS at 150 versus 144. Q4 revenues 1.21 billion versus 1.19. Sees Q1 revenue at 1.16 versus the estimate of 1.16. Let's see. Forward-looking 23 revenue at 5.2 to 5.12 billion versus, I mean, they're kind of flat. Quarterly revenue subscription is increased to 18% and a 16% on constant currency basis. Look at that. That 50 is so powerful, right? Just smacked into it. Smacked into the 3150. What does it do? It's going to pull back, try to find some support. Possible daily cloud support or consolidation along this 4-hour mid. If we can get out of the daily, back test it, then we get to move to the daily mid through the 4-hour, right? It's got room to move. I've never traded it, but I might want to put it on watch for next week. In healthcare, guess what moved yesterday? Yep, you're right. Moderna, 125 to 160 or 156 yesterday. Right? I've been waiting for this move for months. I finally fired it. Had earnings. Blew up off of earnings. Got stuffed by the 4-hour held daily mid. So the move with Moderna for continuation would be this. Up above one. So I moved to 160. Back test to 155, 158. If that holds, then we get that completed move to the weekly cloud top, 166. Right, there would be a daily top magnet at 175, contrarian, overhead resistance, profit taking, maybe some pulling back to the 4-hour mid. If we can't get up into the 4-hour cloud, I would look for 145 to the downside. So above 156 for a move to 160, right? Bounce off of 160, the weekly top, 166. We reject 156, right? And we begin to pull back. We have support at 145. So we'd have the 4-hour top, 4-hour mid move, all still within this big old weekly zone right here. Going into today, looks like it's running out of gas really, but look at this low, medium, high compression squeezes on our intraday charts. Looking at the 30-minute. Decreasing histogram, decreasing radium fire, double green, so we could get a bounce here. Very easily get a bounce for continuation up. So just keep an eye on Moderna. I don't want to trade it. It's made me mad, but whatever. Yeah, the healthcare had earnings. Look at that. Whoosh. This is a parabolic stock right now. However, we got the 200 at 141. Could easily get stuffed there. If and only if, right, we hit 141, We backtest 140.50 for a move up to 146. I would expect some profit taking here, at least a retrace to the, possibly a retrace down to 135, right? So 140, 135, above 142.50 for a move to 145, okay? And rocket companies, I was going to trade these as commons today. They had earnings coming out. They're doing pretty decent off it, right? Q4 EPS at 32 cents versus estimated 36 cents. Revenues 2.59 billion versus 2.6. Grew full year 2021 originations volume up to 351 billion, up 10% from record 2022 levels. Special dividend of $1 per Class A common stock declared by the board of directors. It's 10%, right? 9%. That's a 9% dividend per quarter, right? Oh, maybe it's a yearly. If it was a quarterly dividend, this would be a great drip stock to get invested into, because you'd make $4 a year that you'd reinvest, and you'd start snowballing shares, right? I think it's running out of juice, really. Yeah, if we can trade up into this zone, the 11.80 to $12 zone, possibly. Okay. Coinbase had earnings yesterday. Q4 revenues 2.49 billion versus 1.94, so they like $500 million more in revenue. Adjusted EBITDA at 1.2 billion versus 832 million. Monthly transactions rose 54%, and crypto market cap and volatility is impacting lower quarter-to-date trading volume as they see retail and total trading volume lower in Q1 versus Q4 of 20. For 2022, average retail at 5 million to 15 million. Okay. I think this is a good looking, like, it's getting ready to, I like it. I think this is consolidation over the last couple days into earnings, kind of flat on earnings, right? But we've got slingshot squeeze, crossover, ready and fire, getting ready to fire off. If we can get some stack positive moving averages down here, it would be pretty decent. It looks like it's starting to do that slowly, okay? We could very easily chop 170, 172, 183, or the lower end of that would be 155, 165. Right? We just have to, if we can catch this kind of a move here, that would be great. That wick, that giant wick up kind of set the zone, right? Kind of created a nice little zone for us. I'm going to give it a couple days. We'll check on Coinbase mid next week. Okay. All right. And energy. Nothing really interesting from energy that we trade. Here we go. Oh, wow. In consumer news, Etsy and Fitch. Oh, Etsy Bay. Look at this move. Look at this. Boom. I'm back. Right. Etsy's like, I got legs. So, slingshot squeeze getting ready to release. Ready and fire getting ready to release. Expect profit taking. I would look at potentially maybe 4-hour top back test. So 141. If we break 137, like I don't know if I want to hold. All right, here's the. So if we get back into the 4-hour top, right, then the next move would be 4-hour mid and then bottom. But if this is a true reversal, right, we could easily back test 4-hour top for a bounce rip, right? That would be daily mid, 4-hour top support for a move from daily mid to daily top, weekly cloud trade, right? That 150 to 165 weekly cloud. Etsy is going to do some things. contrarian, right? None of this is valid, and we continue with our falling channel. Okay. I'm going to keep an eye on Etsy. We might rotate that into our, we might move that into our rotation. I like it. Check this one out. FTCH, Farfetch. Like, we used to trade this, right? Shares are up 30%. Why? I mean, I don't understand what they've done. Oh, Q4 gross profit margin at 46%. Yeah, that's pretty good. You're almost at 50% profitable company. What is going on here? Yo, did I miss something? Please don't gap up. All right, let me get through this news because we've got a lot of things happening with futures right now. Okay, let's see. We've got some calendar events today. Core, so at 8:30, core PCI, the PCE price index. Durable goods orders, consumer sentiment at 10. So there's a couple events at 8:30, then at 10. There may be a Fed monetary policy report today. That would be interesting. Regardless, the futures are ripping right now. So, oh, the other thing, I have got a meeting with a high-performance psychologist that works with traders and professional athletes to gain their mental edge in trading and excelling under pressure. I've got a meeting with her today. She has got a service that she provides. I'm going to probably be a guinea pig, right? I'm going to be a test subject for her for her service that she offers. I will be talking a lot more about that in the upcoming weeks. So if you're interested in trading psychology, again, our mission here at Mission Control is to create a very well-rounded trader that can handle everything from stocks to options to crypto, as well as even being able to get your head right. This is yourself. Your biggest enemy is yourself in trading, right? You can see, this is a perfect setup, but you can talk yourself out of it, or you can talk yourself into being like, oh, I want it to go, right? And the mental game is a big part of being successful long term. Okay. A day after one of the broadest market reversals off the lows to the close at the highs, Nasdaq had a 900-point swing, closing at highs up 3.3%, and the S&P 160-point move off of lows to settle at a 1.5% higher. Major U.S. averages are seeing selling pressure overnight as Russia's invasion of Ukraine deepens as rockets strike the capital city. Meanwhile, China state television broadcaster CCTV says Jinping and Putin holds phone calls on the afternoon of February 25th and supports negotiation with Ukraine. Russian reports also indicate that Zelensky invites Putin to a negotiation table. It was an astonishing day in Wall Street on Thursday as the Nasdaq opened down more than 3%, but finished up more than 3%. That's a 6% move, and finished more than 7% off of lows. Well, whatever. According to one tweet, that has only happened one other time in history. April of 2000, a strong spike snapped a 4-day losing streak for the S&P 500 and a 5-day for the Nasdaq. Investors bought amid oversold markets on geopolitical concerns. Right. The picture overseas is a little better than in the U.S. as the Asian market Nikkei index rises 1.95%. Shanghai gains 0.6%, and the Hang Seng only fell 0.59%. In Europe, even stronger as the DAX rose 1.5%. FTSE gains 2.2%. Those are massive moves. Yo, those are huge. Those are huge moves, right? Right. The DAX up 1.5%. That's a big moves. Big moves. All right. So what I'm looking at here is we're going to go over our futures chart real quick. I got to see what's going on. There's a move happening right here and now that I hope doesn't run away. because that would be a gap fill morning. Okay. All right. So bigger picture daily. All right. Give me one second. I got to go wake up my chicken head. Give me a second. All right. One of my chicken heads is awake. So, what did we do yesterday? Well, did we hit? So, we came down, we possibly made our third wave, or this is a 1, 2, 3 correction for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Big old gnarly inverted head and shoulders potential. There's lots of things happening here. Today will help us to determine a couple of things, such as where if this is the beginning of a new 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 LA wave to the downside, where does our fourth wave put us today? Right? We can't go above 43.55 for this to be a valid. If we move back to 43.38, for example, which is only another 40 points higher than we're at now, I'm going to keep an eye on it. I have to, because if we move further, like if we move to the 50% retracement, right, then it's not a fifth wave. It's not a 1, 2, 3, 5 down, and we'd have to reevaluate for direction. 21,200 cross down. Like, keep these things in mind. Like, yes, we had a glorious day yesterday, but look, the 50 and the 21 are still downtrending, right? We had a crossover, so I don't want to get head faked, is what I'm saying. Okay, we may get a little rally to chop today, right? It's options expiration. There's going to be some market manipulation happening, but I don't like that cross down. Okay, bringing it down to the 4 hour, starting to look a little more healthy. Do we get the inverted head and shoulders? Possibly. We overtook the 21. We're holding it. Do we backtest the 50 on the 4 hour? That would be in line with where we can go. We can't cross above these lows for this 1, 2, 3, 4 move to be valid. Okay. Still, like, we're not super bullish. The snow line will be a magnet, right? But nice bounce off this fire line. I called out some Tesla levels yesterday. I don't know if anybody took the trades, the levels that I took, but the 790 calls at the open were $2. I think they closed at like 35 or 36. Yeah. So, interesting to see what we do here. Okay. Super interesting as to what's going on. Okay. So this is what happens when we're on the 30-minute chart and we overtook the 200, right? Yay. We're back above the 200. So shorts are going to come in and start trying to push price down, right? Because of that daily chart that I just showed you, right? We're still below and we're pushing down. We're like, we're not moving up. Like, so just, I don't know, it's Friday. It's a Lotto Friday. If you're gonna trade options today, you have to be comfortable with whatever you trade going to zero. God, that's a nice move, right? We have a top coming in at 43.04, 43.13. Where's that? Is this the zone? Yeah, we're trading a zone right now. I don't want to try to call a top, but basically what I'm saying is nice little bull flag breakout. Well, not even a bull flag breakout, really. There's your bull flag. It failed. We just found support off the 200 and we bounced 1, 2, 3, 4, 2.5 and then corrective. It's going to be interesting. So just don't get sucked up in the hype is what I'm trying to tell you. Okay. And moving on to the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq. All right. So I don't believe this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move down on the Nasdaq because we closed, or we're above the high of the 1 point, which we can't be. So I think that this is not valid, right? So we'll start looking for something new on the Nas. I do see a potential inverse head and shoulders forming. Watch this 5,200 cross. If we bounce, then we can use the 50 to pull us up. If the 5,200 crosses down and we reject the 21, right? So the next couple of days, then I think we get a larger move to the downside. Okay. I'm really sketched on this big old bull trap. All right, we broke above the 21 on the 4 hour. We're currently testing the 50. If we can get above the 50, we've got some previous overhead resistance. This tree line is going to be a magnet, 14,441. I think we might see that today, right? Looks as if though this snow line's been more of a magnet. So the 200 should be a magnet today. We could potentially be doing inverse head and shoulders, right? So long above 14,073. I think that we're just going to get stronger as we move down on the time frames. All right, up, consolidation, up. We're entering the top of a zone. We're about to get a 5,200 crossover on our intraday chart, right? So this looks really good, right? Inverted head and shoulders, go long. Just don't forget, we've got some larger time frame resistance coming in, right? There's the 4 hour, 4 hour 50, right? I like the inverted head and shoulders aspect of it, though. All right, let's look at the diggity Dow, the daily dilly dally Dow, dilly dally daily Dow. All right, so what did I draw here? What do we got? Let me get rid of that. All right, 21. This is, remember on, I was talking about the 21 crossing over the 200. Well, look what happened here, right? We had a big drop. That snow line, you guys, I'm like, that snow line is powerful, right? Clean bounce right off of it, right? Fire line's going to be the target. So 35, excuse me, there you go. 33,637 or a possible rally to the 21. If we, I might short this rip to the 21. Okay. We got to watch what happens with the 5,200 here. If it bounces, then we can recover and it can drag price up with it. But I like this. Fire line as a target today. Looking at it on lower time frames, we're currently testing the 21 now on the 4 hour. We're still negatively stacked. We could easily reject this 21 on the 4 hour. Ooh, and then this snow line of the downside would be a magnet, right? Which is 32,120. How are we looking on our intraday stuff? We're looking pretty bullish, right? Falling wedge breakout. I think my zones are off a titch on these. Come on. Load. There we go. All right, so what do we got going on here? Y'all know the drill. 200 SMA test at 3330, or potentially, I like that one. What happens when we hit here? Do we break through it and get a big old jump to this fire line, or do we reject and chop back down to the skyline, maybe even consolidate in the skyline a little bit more? until we can get the 50-21 crossover. Should be interesting. Remember, that's a 30-minute chart. All right, moving on to the red-headed Russell. The red-headed Russell is... Sorry, y'all don't need to see the weekly. Let's check out the daily. All right. Pretty decent little bounce. All right, snowline bounce. We made a lower low yesterday. We actually made a lower low yesterday before recovering. I think we retest the 21, so I'm going to use this tree line at 2038 as an upside target. Do we reject the 21, right? Or whatever this overhead trend, or is it, this there basically. Do we do some wick action, right? Oh, this is a daily or the next couple days. Let's look at the 4 hour. All right, so this is very typical. Look, we got rejected. All right, so we're testing the 50-day on the 4 hour. We've got a tree line magnet, which is a 200 SMA magnet. So I think we get a move potentially up to 2040 or 2039. If we reject this 50-day, we've got these tree line or these skylines of support, right, at 1991 and 1963 as support. If we break down below the 21, snowline magnet to the downside at 1916. Okay, possible inverse head and shoulders, a little popping, but we've got two major moving averages overhead. We've got to get up and through. So just be, like I said, I'm just going to be careful today. Like, I'm in no rush to take a winning week and make it a losing week by trying to get greedy, right? Equity trades today, possible 30-minute 2150 200 crossover. That would be a little bit of bullish strength on the lower time frames, pushing that car up the hill, right, to this tree line 2040. Yeah, I like that move, and then maybe some rejection off of that. Okay. All right, that was Russell. Looking at gold real quick. All right, on the daily. So big old rippers, rippity rippers. My fib level was definitely not valid, right? If we went off of here, it was valid, right? From low to high, we pulled back to the 618 retracement, wick down to almost a 50% retracement, but I think we get another move down, right? Possible pullback to 1875. Below that, we would be retesting the 21. I think that we get a 21 price action 21 test today as the 21 moves up to the 50% retracement level. Looking at gold on the 4 hour, right? Tweezer, not really tweezer top, but big moves down. Tried to retake the 21, could not do it. The 50-day on the 4 hour is currently holding us up for support. We have a 50% retracement down here. I don't know why. I mean, I don't think I have my snow lines on here. I'll have to put those on. But we broke some downtrend support, right? There's a trading zone that we just entered into. So if we break the 50, I think we back test the 50% retracement for a possible bounce or another leg down to this 382 retracement and previous wedge support. Contrarian, we bounce off the 50 right here on the 4 hour. We retake the 21 on the 4 hour and we start making some steps higher. Looking at it on the 30-minute chart, right? This is that H shape. Look at that H shape. Gold has an H. Oh, I gotta let some people know about this. Let some people know about this. GLD has an H on the Yeah. So that H is for, I don't know. I got to find a good H word that's like, is basically like, help, I'm falling. Okay. Yeah, I think that worked. H for help. H for help me, I'm falling. And then crude, kind of an H-shaped pattern here as well, right? Down H, or it could be the elf foot, right? Leg, heel, arch, toe, toe flicks price action up. Regardless, off of a snow line, skyline at 93.50, another skyline at 94.07. Above that, I think we have a $95 snow line target. It's going to act as a magnet. Longer term, this tree line at 98 should be the upside magnet. Okay, ZB, this is TLT. Stair stepping down, as you can see. Yen's coming in with that H-shaped pattern as well. So do we get a quick rally for the day, right, before these start making their moves back up, or do we see continuation on? Like I said, the strength in the daily and the 4-hour charts. Be paying very much attention to the 5200s. Okay, all right, let's get into this section right now, which is the flow index. So I need a drink. Where did already out? I need a drink. Okay, I'm gonna go through. Let me go through our bread and butter ones real quick too while I'm here. All right, I'm gonna just use the 4-hour, I guess. I think that should be fine. Apple's 4-hour chart. We've got a 50, 200 cross down possibly. We did retake the 21. Got a snow line for Apple at 164.50. Above that, we've got some skylines at 166, 166.50. Depending on how this 5200 interact with each other, if we get another cross down like we did here, say we had the downturn. Let's see how when we got the cross up over here, we got the upturn, right? I know there's a lot going on with this chart. It's kind of hard to see, so I'm going to try to make it a little bit bigger. But we got 21 days support, also skyline support at 160, right? 164.50, 165.50, possible magnets for today. Do we retest here and come back down? Or this is a 382 retracement. Do we just reject here and have a larger move to the downside? Keep an eye on the ES for Apple moves. This is kind of interesting from a 30-minute perspective, right? Nice solid moves up, a little bit of a cup and handle, definitely a V-shaped recovery. Like this is definitely a reversal pattern. Okay. 21 200 crossover, 50-day crossover, right? So on the 30-minute, we're kind of bullish. Like I said, I got that snow line and I got a 50% 382 retracement. So I'd be targeting 165.50 today, with 162, 163. Oh, that's so tough. Let's just say below 162, we hit 160, and then possibly down to like 158. Okay, that's Apple. AMD. Remember that 8 billion share buyback, right? That's going to help this chart. That's going to help this stock, which should help the Qs, right? However, we've got a tree line magnet at 119. Above that, we got a snow line at 121 and 123, right? Skylines at those levels. I'd like to see. I like this move to happen next week, to be honest with you. I'd like to see maybe some rejection at 120. Right, that 120 rejection, because there's massive amount of contracts at 120, pulling back 116, 114, 111. I know you guys don't want to hear my downside moves, but see this trading zone that we did here from this green line to the skyline and then chopped. that would be a horrible day, right? We're getting to a point where things are going to start happening with AMD. That share buyback might be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th leg. Ooh, do you see that? Maybe that's what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 120, 120, 120. 120, 121. Possibly. Or we reject here, and then we have a corrective move. AMD should be interesting today. I'm not as bullish as everybody else is, to be honest with you. Googly, little cup and handle. It's got this tree line as a magnet, so 27.35 if we go bullish. Below 26.29, I think we back tested 25.64. So we would play either this snow line bounce to the tree line or skyline rejection to snow line, below snow line, back down to snow line. I should probably read a book or something on how the voodoo lines are actually meant to be used and why isn't NVIDIA. Why don't I have voodoo lines for NVIDIA? It's irritating. Rather irritating. There we go. I knew I had them. I was just, why isn't it showing them to me? All right. Look at that. So tree line support looks like it's had some issues at 242, 241, 242 before. However, we've got 21,250 day. If we can get a 5,200 crossover, that's super bullish for NVIDIA. 246 possible target today if we can get above 242. 242 to 246. If we reject here and fall below this tree line, I think we have a snow line at 230 as support. This is a interesting pattern. Very interesting. Super bullish though. Right? Don't get me wrong. NVIDIA is super bullish. Tesseract. I called this sucker yesterday. Snow line to snow line to fire line. Fire line is support, right? 21,200 crossover, very similar to NVIDIA. 834, 860 potential today. If we get above 834 or above 860, 900's incoming, potentially 926. We got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right off of that tree line, right? Fire line support, fire line to snow line trading zone from 834 to 860. There's a trading zone right there. It's pretty easy to see, right? That'll be support. Once we break it, it's going to be resistance until we can chop through that. All right, so 817, support at 791. Remember I called the 790 call right there. I would look at the 765 puts. If we break 790, we can even go as low as 750. It all depends on what happens today. So, I mean, kind of bullish, but this is a broadening. Like this isn't a bull flag. It's a failed bull flag. Got stuffed. Okay. I don't have time. Looking at SPY. The speedy SPY. See that 200 right over there? Right. Tree line or snow line magnet, 200-day resistance. So the move on SPY would be a move up to approximately 434, 435 with resistance at 432. Do we wick through it? Possibly. Do we get up and close and bounce and use it as support? It's going to be tough to say. Like, these are big, strong candles here. There's a trading zone, chop zone, 431, 434, chop zone. Okay. And then the QQQ. All right, so QQQ is a little different story. So we've got a Skyline 200 resistance level. Above that, I think we move up to about 351 pretty easily. There's nothing really there. We reject this. We come back and back test at 21, 336, 328 support. I mean, there is a move back down to 328 if we break below previous lows. Below 336, 330, 328. I'm going to grab the 328, 330 puts. I'm also going to grab the 350. $352 calls. This is a clean zone right here, right? Look how clean that was. Clean move down, right? Up, clean move down, right? A little consolidation between these two. Okay. And then finally the SPX on the 30. All right, so SPX doesn't really trade overnight, but it had a nice, powerful move going up to retest the 200-day snowline target, okay? Do we reject this? We rejected it once. We got above it once, right? Snowline bounce, woo, wee, and then we faded. I mean, it's, right, faded off. So you have to ask yourself, maybe this is a 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be the 3. So I don't know. That's a tough one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Super bullish though. I don't have really anything here to help us out, but as it's, I mean, everything's just ripping right now, right? Going into that data. There's a 3-minute chart. Right, big old chunky moves, right? Lower time frames look great, right? Up to the 15 looks good, right? We start getting little spaghetti straps in our moving averages at the 15. 30 looks pretty decent, right? So when we start getting into like these mid-range time frames, that things start to get a little resistant. Okay. All right, FlowTrade. All right, this is a flow index algorithm. FlowTrade has created their own algorithm. The flow index, it tracks smart money, dark pool, block trades, large institutions, hedge funds, transactions. The flow index is a leading predictive indicator, meaning that it shows us what's going to happen in the market before it happens. We look for opportunities where there is divergence between the purple line, which is a regular algorithm, and white bars are which are price action. If you see red lines on my screen, those are regular block trades. Blue lines are dark pool block trades, and white lines are a good time if you can find one. White lines are when a regular and a dark pool print on top of each other. Those are major inflection points. Mark them up on your chart. See what happens when price gets to them, right? For example, 330 or 323.89 on the Qs is a white line. What happens when we got to that level? We bounced off of it. Okay, so let's get started with the requests. The first person here gets the first request. And Johnny, what do you got? I'm gonna look at Mara. You're going for the crypto play. I see what you're trying to do here. Mara, ooh, Microsoft, nice. Nvidia. Futu. Good morning, Johnny. Morning, Terry. Morning, Jackson, Andrea, watchlist, Caroline, and all right. So Mara, we've got. I don't like that divergence in Microsoft or Nvidia. All right, we'll get to it when we get to it. So looking at Mara, block trades in the last 3 days. We have a regular block trade magnet that's coming in at 23.36. Above that, I think we move pretty nicely up to about 25. The flow index is making that Wu-Tang Reversal. If you've not seen this before, this is what it looks like. And then I got to go grab whatever's making that noise. Hold on. It's going to drive me nuts. Trying to find it. Alrighty. Okay, so I always talk about this Wu-Tang Reversal. Basically, it's a 1, 2, 3 reversal. You get long on the break of the 2 line, right? So this would be the 3rd leg, right? It's also a Dow 1, 2, 3, which would be, this would be the 1, right? This is the 2. This is the 3. And when you cross over the 2 line, you go long, right? 1, 2, 3, get long, right? So Mara with the 1, 2, 3 reversal. So we've got the flow index that's trying to make, it made a high, it made a higher low. Let's see if it can go up and make a higher high. Like I said, 23.36, there's a regular block there. I swear there was another one. Above that, we've got 22.80. So on the break of it's a 23.36, 25, and then 25 to 26.50. Okay. I like it. I'm liking it so far. All right, moving on. Microsoft. So, little worried about this and why. So the flow index has been net selling, right? They've been net selling since February 2nd on Microsoft, which has been pulling price action down with it. This is a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possible move yesterday, up through a bunch of regular and dark pool levels. So we rallied up to regular block trade, profit taking, pulled back. There's a dark pool order came in for, looks like, to buy a bunch of shares at that point, rallied up, created this bearish divergence. Now it's really young, right? It's very fresh. It's new, right? Divergence occurred approximately at 286, right? Where price continued to move up and the flow index was taking profits, right? So they're taking profits at these levels. 290 psychological white line level. Price action may bounce and continue up. Looks like we've got some overhead. right? A little wedge breakout, maybe back test for a larger move up, but I don't like this just candle that's just chilling out here in the middle of nowhere between the dark pool levels, right? 292.74, 294.59 are those dark pool levels. Below 292.74, we magnet back down to this 290, right? And then we can stair step our way back down. I think that's pretty much it for. I don't like how the flow index is so negative on that. I would have liked a little bit of bullish crossover, but we didn't necessarily get it. All right, coin is like definitely on my list. All right, so in Vidi, we're coming up to regular and dark pool resistance, right? This has been a key level of support and resistance in the past. That's the 237.50, 237.77 level, right? The flow index was trading with price and get a little bit of a cross down. However, we start on the low, we make higher lows and higher highs, right? We're moving up. Depending on what happens early, we've got a regular block trade at 210, dark pool clusters at 223, regular block at 230. We've got some bearish divergence that's really, really minor, but y'all can see it there now. This is a great example. Where did this divergence occur, right? I would say this candle here. You clearly see the divergence, right? The flow index is moving one direction. Price action is moving in another direction, right? There's a little bit of a micro supply zone up here, like 240, I think is going to be kind of reach. Maybe 240 would be the top, right? At that point, we would move back down to this point of divergence, 231. Let me just show you what this looks like here. So price action's moving down, right? Let's say that this is the reversal point, right? We hit 230. Right, and the flow index starts moving up as price is coming down. So they're moving up. They're selling out of these positions, so they're taking profit as this price moves up. Once it hits a point right there, then they'll start buying into it, or they'll continue to sell out. Right, so really interesting what's happening with Nvidia. This is a big, strong move. Right, big old strong move. Haven't seen any gray or black candles yet, so maybe some profit taking. We'll have to see. I mean, futures are they're like can't stop, won't stop. Right, they're just making higher lows and higher highs. Blow off top today, possibly, or big old nasty bull traps. Yeah, I don't know how I want to play this one today. It's pretty, I mean, this is pretty significant rips overnight. All right, so on FUTU. All right, so FUTU, flow index is trading with price action the whole time. We've got a dark pool level at 40.52, right? We got some... Alrighty. Sorry about that. So maybe a little inverse head and shoulders on FUTU. It looks like there's a zone that goes 42 to about 43, 44. I remember when this thing used to move like $5, $10 at a time. Right now, these are dollar increment moves. So 1, 2, I don't know. This is maybe like a inverse head and shoulders. We've got a dark pool level at 40.52. Use that as support. If the flow index reverses here, like I said, you got 41. So they're in 50-cent increment moves. So 40.50, 41.50, 41.50 to 42. or 43, so $1.50 maybe. I don't know what the ATR is on it, but it's you got this previous resistance zone right here, right? Right there. That $42 or what is it? 41.50 level. Maybe rejection above that. Then there's this trading zone that runs 41.50 to 44 or 43.50. There's that nice zone there. Pretty decent zone. You got another zone. Potentially here. Yeah, that's Fu2. I would stay away from anything China related right now. Just not worth the risk in my opinion. Okay. So you want to look at Square. Who am I missing? Tesla. I gotta make sure I get everybody. Bank of America. Coin. Does that work? Let me just make sure I got everybody's listed here. So I did Fu2, Myra, Microsoft, Nvidia. So Square, Coin, Tesla, Bank of America. And so all I owe is Airbnb right now, right? I think I got everything else. Square, look at this, is gorgeous, right? Higher lows and higher highs, pulling price action up with it. Wedge breakout, ripping through some regular and dark pool levels, right? With Square above 97.35, you got a quick pop to 99.63. There's a trading zone from 99.63 up to about 110, 111. That's the move we want to look to gather. But what's happened is, as you can see, the flow index price is just trading with the flow index now, right? This isn't divergence. It's just the flow index pulling price action up with it. Okay. So 1, 2, 3 possible move. Like I said, when there's white line support at 95, just call it 95. So use that as a base. Quick pops to 97, back to 96, up to 100, right? From 100 to 110. However, if we reject and break down below 95, retest 93, move back down to this to 91, right? But this is a good example of divergence playing out. So, right, we have divergence that occurs here, right? Come on. Right, you can see at this point, flow index price started moving down while the flow index is moving up, right? At this point, little micro divergences get played out. Yeah, it's coming up on its target. All right, Tesla. Oh, Tesla, look at this. Right, you would think Tesla was way more set up than it is, right? So flow index trading with price, we have a nice little touch there. The flow index is trying to make higher lows and higher highs. Price is being pushed up, right? We're into some resistance. We have regular block magnets. Those came in on the 23rd at 9:30, right? 22nd, 23rd. These regular blocks have not been filled yet. I've got a regular block at 8:30.43 and 8:33.57. So this one at 8:40.33 came in on the 23rd at 9:30, which is right where my line is right here, right? So yeah, so these regular blocks have not been filled yet. So there may be, these may act as a magnet. Dark pools. I'm missing my little dots. I think at one point I had some dots here to show that if it had been filled yet or not. I don't know where those are at, but if Tesla can get above 800, there's no way Tesla's, hold on. Oh crap, 825? Kicking myself. All right, Tesla's trading at 825 right now. So that move up to 830, right? To fill these regular blocks. And then what happens? The flow index starts downturning. I would see a lot of profit taking here possibly. Because what happens next is you get into a zone that runs from 840 to 861, right? And then there's another zone that runs 880 to 900. Like, oh yeah. So I'm kicking myself. If you took the trade on Tesla yesterday when I called it, right? When I called it down here, looking at the 790s, yeah, this is I don't even want to look, because you're at least $40 in the money, which would be 4,000. Is that right? Yeah, 4,000. Yeah, so if 4 cents is $4, $4 is 400, $40 is 4,000. Yeah, you're $4,000 in the money. I'm so sick about that trade. I'm really sick about that trade. It's about to be trifecta mode. It's blown out of everything. Tesla is a wild beast. Okay. And then Coinbase. So unfortunately, the Flow Index is just trading with the algorithm on Coinbase, right? Or Flow Index is trading with price. So I don't necessarily like that. Maybe. Let's see. High, low, right? Made a higher low. Higher high, higher low, bull flag, ripper, back testing support. Oh, this might be pretty decent. We have a dark pool at 177.89 and another one at 174. Okay. That one came in at the close. So this 174 dark pool came in at the close when price was trading at 182. So it may be, right? There may be some buy orders there. So maybe trying to buy a pullback. This one came in on the 22nd, 1700, which is right in here, right? $17.42. Oh, 222. I was like, wait. 224 is 1622. No, that's right. 224, 1622. Yeah, there's an unfilled blocks down here at 174. So any pulls backs to like 175, 174 for support. So up, back for support should be could be larger moves to the upside, because those are unfilled orders. There's a dark pull there. So be careful with coin. And then Airbnb is the last one I need to do for you. Yeah. Should we just see how much they're worth now? Should we? Yeah, we're gluttons. Glutton for punishment. 790s are at $19. From $2 to $19. Did I do Bank of America? Oh, no, I didn't. Sorry, I skipped Bank of America. My bad. All right, Bank of America. A little bit of bullish divergence that's played out. All right. There's a gap to fill on Bank of America that runs approximately 43.50 to 44.650, right? So there's a $1 gap there. That could be fun to trade, right? If the flow index can make a series of higher lows and higher highs, if it can reverse here like it did here, definitely pull price up with it, right? It could be a fun move. If it rejects these dark pull levels here, we've got support at 43, 42.29, and 42.50. I don't think we start making lower lows. This may be a little bit of a reversal here. However, if we reject 43.50, 43, and then 42, that would create bullish divergence for a longer term move. Okay. I'm going to check out Jpmorgan real quick while I'm here, and then Upstart are the other ones I'm looking at. All right. Jpmorgan. So flow index is trading with price. It's going to gap fill up to 148, 148.60. White line support at 150.56. Right. I think that's the baseline for Jpmorgan. So if the flow index can continue to move up and pull price up with it, I think we see a move in Jpmorgan up to 148.50, followed by a move up to 150. So Jpmorgan's, I like that one for today. JPM. And then Upstart was the other one I wanted to look at. I'm trying to get Upstart and Jpmorgan into my rotation just because I like the way that they move, right? It gap filled, rally, gap filled down, gap filled. So now we've got a dark pool magnet at 132.24. So if we can trade up to this zone and back test it, right? Then we can trade this next zone that runs 137 to about 155. Actually, it's this zone here, 150 to 140. Yeah. The flow index is not reversed yet. So it should retest, should be a 123, 224, and 930. Oh, there's some block. There's a regular block sitting back down here at 103.92 that's never been filled yet. Why how am I missing my little dots? I don't get it. It's not showing it to me. If the flow index can bounce off of these previous levels here, right? And continue to move up, it would be a 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3. It's gonna be close. Support at 177.89. If we fail 174 as the final support below that, we make a newer low. Okay. All right. I think that's it. Was that coin? Right, coin, Upstart, Airbnb. Upstart's coming up. What else did I miss? Did I do Airbnb? I don't think I did. Here, let me do Airbnb real quick. Then I gotta go. All right. So Airbnb. Flow index made a high, consolidated, rallied up, didn't make a higher low. We've got 223. 220. So this regular and dark pool are just sitting up here as a magnet, however they've been filled. There's a gap to fill that runs 160 to 160, 164, right? 1, 2, 3. Ooh, this is a pretty clean 1, 2, 3 move. Let me show you what that looks like here. So pretty clean. 1, 2. If this is 3, then that 3 can continue, right? It's going to usually be about twice as long as the 1. So, all right, so check. All right. So if the third wave is twice as long as the one wave, then we get a move up through these dark pools, right? And if that's a third wave, then we could possibly get, you know, a fourth wave, and then right, and then the fifth wave move here. There we go. I think this makes a little bit more sense. That fifth wave, though, is not. Maybe something like that, right? Contrarian, we pull back. And that would be maybe one of these. Inverse head and shoulders. So look for some, maybe a move back to 155 and then continuation up. So Airbnb would be a fun one to watch. Yeah. Definitely worth something next week for sure. Okay. All right. I got to run. Thanks for joining me. Oh, you want to just, who's late? All right. I'll do SPY and QQQ and then I really got to go. All right, so SPY, the flow index is just chilling, right? All right, so all right, so we have bearish cross down, bullish cross up. There's some dark pulls right here that didn't get filled. 224 at 1631. All right, these came in after the close, right? Those may need to come back down and get filled, but there's also some dark pulls up at 429.67 that haven't been filled yet either. So maybe a wick up and then a pullback, but I don't like how we have the crossover where flow index is taking profits on its way up. That's a lot of block trades for the last 3 days. That's a ton, right? If I bring it back down to just the block trades yesterday, you can see these orders right here have not been filled because they came in, well, maybe not, hold on. 1631 on the 24th, right? So this came in after the close. So right here, so possible pulling back to fill these orders. If we get above 430, maybe some quick pop to about 433. But then there's a range from 433 to 437 that has to be traded. So it can't be like, oh, we're just going to rip all the way up there. So I think we rally up, consolidate, and then start to make that move up. We need to keep an eye on, see what happens with the flow index. If it bounces here, or if it continues to pull price action down, that would be bearish. And then finally the QQQ, last but not least. Look at this. So the flow index made a high, it made a higher low, it made a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. QQQ is coming up to trade the zone that runs 340 to 344, right? There's lots of blocks at this level. So if these are all sell orders, expect some pullback to 335-esque, right, area, and that would create a pretty spot on little inverse head and shoulders. The flow index coming up to resistance right here, right? The flow index trades this zone, right? Look at that. See that little zone that the flow index likes to trade up to? So it's trading up to this one, right? If it pulls back and then does one of these, right? The other thing that could happen is, it looks like we were setting up for one of these, right? Maybe a little inverse head and shoulder going into the week, or last but not least, there's this potential move here, right? So, ooh, I like this drawing tool like that. I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on QQQ. Any pullbacks to 335 is buying opportunities to 340. If we break, right, if we break support at 334.56, then we trade down, back down to 330. All right, I got to go. Thanks for joining me. I'm Darkwell Algo. I will see you all this weekend. Join us for the weekend watch list building session. Maybe I'll do a live session this weekend. Should be fun. All right, have a great day. Stay safe, stay green. And Last little look at the futures. And as you can all see that it is just making moves, right? Making moves.